Recording.
Awesome. Okay. Hey everyone. This video is gonna be a mind for you, the Visionaries. And it's a series that I just decided to start here before the beginning of 2020, the next decade. And the focus of these broadcasts or these podcasts will be to hear people out, hear creators out of what is it actually they want to create in their future. And more importantly, what we can use, as listeners, what kind of mindset do they have? How do they wake up in the morning? How do they handle their thoughts? And what kind of attitude do they have for life, for relationships, for, bringing a vision into life, because that's the main focus of the broadcast here. So with that at heart and that in mind, here I have my guest, and that will be you, Philip. So
hello.
Welcome. It's awesome to have you here. I'm so honored to actually have you as my first guest here and ready to take part in this series of who knows what it's going to be of, right? I will enjoy my mate while you just, share who you are and you got your introduction ready. So it's all yours, mate.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'm originally from Australia. My name's Phillip Hobbs. Uh-huh. Now, I grew up traveling Australia as a fruit picker's kid, uneducated, homeschooled. I moved every 3 to 4 months until I actually moved up here to Denmark. When I was 15, I left home. When I was 16, I moved to New Zealand. When I was 17, I bought a sailboat and I sailed 1,000 kilometers on my own. When I was 19, I moved to Denmark. Uh-huh. I moved up here as a sexual refugee.
Come again? Okay, so no more surprises. So what, you moved up here as a what?
Sexual refugee.
Okay.
Yep.
That's an interesting concept. I've never heard about that.
I'll introduce it to you later. All right. When I was 24, I worked for the world's #1 stock photographer. Uh-huh. As his distribution manager. I used to put all his photos online to like 40 different websites around the world. Pretty intense job. Uh-huh. So I've had a high up position there. Uh-huh. I started my first business when I was 25 and it went good, ups and downs and so on for a few years.
I'm for sure gonna dig a little bit into that, so.
Do that. Excellent. In last year, I went down with stress and depression. I was in such a black hole that I couldn't see even a candle at the end. I had a business, and I had it then where I pruned trees, and it was so bad at times that I thought about not removing the rope when I came down from the tree that was near my neck and things like that. So it was really not fun.
Okay. Yeah.
And I had a horrible attitude last year. I blamed everyone and everything for how I was.
Yeah.
Now I'm just going to go back quickly. When I moved up here to Denmark, I lost myself. I lost my identity. I lost my colors. I had a lot of problems with immigration, so I've blamed that for everything until last year. Yeah. And now I'm doing what I love. I have really great days every single day. I'm in control of my world. I've taken responsibility for many things.
Yep.
And that's my introduction.
Awesome. Well, that was quite intense, actually, to hear a little bit of what has been going on in your past there. And I'm glad that you actually has come to a place now where you see the world in a light that actually suits you, that brings your that brings your joy. Because my main focus with everything that we do here in the Mind for You and such, and my main focus as a human being is also to bring about that joy in everyone.
Yeah.
So whenever I hear someone who has made the transformation in a way that works for them, I'm always happy to hear that.
Excellent.
Very good. Okay, so you're from Australia.
Yeah.
And you moved up here, was it like did you say 19?
Yeah, when I was 19, it was back in 2004 at Christmas. So it was dark and snowy and cold and all that kind of stuff that I really, yeah.
So for folks around the world seeing this, we're talking about Denmark. Denmark is a little dot on top of Germany, which very strong opinions as a country, but also as a people, right? We traveled the seas as Vikings a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly.
But Denmark is that little dot there on top of Germany. Yeah.
Besides Sweden.
Yeah, next to Sweden. Yeah, big brother is Norway, and the cover is England from the Atlantic Sea and the wind and such. Yeah,
well protected.
Yes, cozy.
Yeah, very.
We're actually known very much for our coziness up here. So it's Christmas also now, right? It's and it's cold. It can be cold here at Christmas. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So glad to hear that. But okay, so I want to dive into mindsets. And just as a short introduction, mindset is a way of looking at life. It's a way to train the mind, or actually it's not a way to train the mind. It's what you will experience the mind working as when you have trained it to look at the world in a specific way, in a way that either works for creating a business or having a more joyful day, or it can be many things, but a mindset is a way of looking at life. It's an attitude. So I want to hear first, Philip, where you're at right now. Can you tell me about where you're at, just a little bit your situation, and then we can look into how you're looking at it, right? So just where you're living right now.
Sure. So 2 hours later. No, I live in the middle of a forest, surrounded by nature. I think I got 5 kilometers of trees on each side. I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm very at peace with myself. I'm doing what I love.
Yeah.
I got some big plans for the future, and I've done some big plans this year. Yeah,
for those.
Whoa, not the life.
Are you in a relationship? Are you working by yourself, or?
Yeah. So I'm happily together with my soulmate, who we found each other kind of by accident about almost 5 years ago. And I've got 3 sons. 2 of them live not far away from me, and I see them every second weekend, and they're just adorable.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very good. And so how would you describe your mindset? So we're going to work into attitude. I want to hear a little bit about your attitude. You say that when you wake up, you're doing what you love. How did that come about? More into when you how do you wake up? What did you do this morning? Can you just share with us actually what happened?
Would you like to hear my morning routine?
Oh, in short, if it's anything with the lady is all private, right? You know what you're doing with her, we're going to keep away.
All right, cool. It's good to know that. That's good. Perfect. Because I'm pretty open,
Yeah, okay, very good. So the first hour we can take up.
Sure. I got some notes here. I knew we'd have this talk. So when I wake up, before I open my eyes, like as soon as I wake up in bed in the morning, I think of the one goal that I'm focusing at the moment. I think of that and I'd be grateful for it. I repeat it over and over in my head until I get out of the bed. Doesn't take very long, but I do that. That's the first thing I do.
Okay, so just to go slow so people follow along here. So we repeat the goal that we have.
Yeah.
If we don't have any goal, it's a good idea to put up one, right?
Yeah, possibly, or at least your why.
Yeah.
The reason for being.
Okay, but for sure you're working with your goal, right? So repeating that. So how would I repeat that? Let's say my goal would be to acquire 5,000 new members for my online course, right?
Yeah.
Is that the goal I repeat for myself in that manner?
No. If I had your goal there, what I would do is I would sit and think, I am so happy and grateful now that I have 5,000 subscribers or members. And I just keep repeating that That the I am is extremely important.
Okay, perfect. Very
present tense. Yeah,
we will get into that, the science of it. It's
cool.
Interesting. It's very interesting because, I'll get into the science of it a little bit later.
Excellent.
Perfect. Okay.
So next step in my morning routine is I put on some high frequency, high vibration music, like sounds that are vibrating on a high frequency to help me start in the right way. I come down to the kitchen, I get a glass of lemon juice, lemon slice in my water, and I drink that. Then I make a coffee, I come in and put on the fireplace. That in a way is connecting with my presence, lighting the fire. It's very important to me. I've got a bit of Aboriginal in me, and fire is connected to the earth and things like that. So that's very important to me. Then I come and sit down and I write down my gratitude. I've got a little book here. I'm just going to show you quickly. I've been writing in this book for about a year, and it's filled with gratitude.
My gratitude book is filled with, women's ass. No, I'm kidding.
Mine is too, but that's the other one.
Okay.
So I got about 10 things that I focus on in there. My health, my relationships, my profession, my children, things like that. And sometimes they change each day, but I keep focus on the things I'm happy for. One of them is living here in the middle of a forest. I write those out every morning. And then once I've done those, I sit and I visualize my day. I always plan my days beforehand. So I sit and go through that.
So beforehand, I'm just going to catch you there a little bit. So that would mean the day before?
Exactly, the evening before. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you have already a sketched idea of how the day will be like.
I have a detailed plan. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And then throughout the day, around about 11 o'clock in the middle of the day, I have like a 25-minute meditation, which just helps me download my mental. All the stuff that's in my head throughout the day, it helps me just release that so that I'm fresh again for the afternoon. It means at the end of the day, I'm not tired.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And so then I'm almost done. That's my morning routine. Now I've got a little bit of an evening routine.
Okay, we'll just wait a little bit with that.
Excellent.
Yeah, because I want to dive into, so everyone who's watching here, how can we start integrating something? Because apparently, not every one of us has a fire stove, Sorry about that, Hobbs there, but,
You could light a candle.
Oh, okay. So I want to get into a little bit of the mechanics of doing these routines. Because as a mind trainer, and what I do is I first get the insight of why. I love the why, right? The more understanding we have as human beings for what we do and why we do it, the better we get at being intentional with our time and bringing more love and more spontaneity, but it's in a way that we bring results at the same time. So in the morning, I recite my goal. I go over what it is I want to create. What if I wake up in the morning and my mind is fucking full of, oh my God, I feel bad. I don't want to go up. It's cold. Comfort is here, right? So if that's what's going on in my mind, I will then start to rehearse this practice you just gave me and go like, okay, but my goal is actually that I'm creating this. Hopefully you put up an interesting goal.
Yeah.
If you don't have a goal, I recommend that you just accept that, okay, we're here. This is our day. All opportunities are open. We can just as well pick a feeling that it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. May I share something quickly?
Yeah.
In those situations, if I had woken up like that, I have a thing that I repeat to myself, and it's just, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm happy, healthy, and well.
Yeah.
And I just keep repeating that one. And maybe I change it to, I'm so happy and grateful that I'm happy, or just just something that is positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And okay, so the way that works is because what is being reflected to us in the day, in our entire day, is those vibrations that we start to send out, right? It's like our mind is a television, a receiver of a vibration, and we can influence that vibration by confirming or affirming things for ourselves, like saying I'm happy, or I'm happy to see more of this. Happy is a great frequency, right? It's a loving frequency. Or I'm accepting the way things are. I'm accepting that this is where I am, or something like that. It's also a great frequency to build upon.
Yeah.
But if we go like, I don't like that, I don't want that, then the universe, or let's say our minds instead, it starts actually attracting what you don't want, because it's that frequency you're in. You're in a frequency of what you don't want. Yeah. So that frequency will just attract that similar frequencies. That's why it doesn't matter what we're saying. It's more important of the frequency. It's the vibrational state that you want to change, which you also mentioned with the music, right? You put on some music with some vibrations you like, anything, I guess. Just it doesn't have to be. I love to hear Enya sometimes, right? Not everybody likes Enya, so that was their frequency. We all have our unique frequency. And also a way of reciting things. But it's important, I hear what you're saying here, that I put my frequency, my vibrational state of being into what I enjoy.
Yeah.
And I'm not using anything to put in my mouth yet, right? I do it before I put things in my body. I'm not taking a drug. Can I take a pill? Can I just take a pill? Or why would it not work? I know it doesn't work if you take a pill for doing it. So, but maybe you can share a little bit why it doesn't work with a pill. Why can't we just take a pill, Phil?
A happiness pill.
Huh?
Right?
Yeah,
you
why
mean
not?
Like a happiness pill.
Yeah, fucking happiness pill. I love those. No, I never had a happiness pill.
We are in Denmark, the happiest people in the world, and I guess there's a reason for that.
And we have a lot of happiness pills as well.
Yeah, exactly. For instance.
Yeah.
My understanding of it is we can either choose to think of the good or the bad. Either way, we think we're right.
Yeah.
When we think,
either way we think we're right. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and our mind is divided up in two parts. We got the conscious, which is how we think about things right now, and we got the subconscious. And that's why it's important with them just before morning or just before you go to sleep. You're in those zones. You can explain that later, right?
Yep.
And it's your subconscious accepts anything that your conscious impresses upon it. So if I sit and think I don't like this, my subconscious, it doesn't hear the don't. It only hears I like this. Yeah. You can explain that later.
That is and this is very interesting, because the subconscious mind works on vibration. If I put a channel on my TV, right, I press play. That's what I'm doing whenever I'm in a frequency that I don't like. It's literally playing the movie I don't like. It's pressing play until I choose to, I want to play another movie. Then you change your frequency, and you can choose to do that voluntarily. Because what I hear you saying is you don't fucking care. I love my language. Because
it's passionate. It's okay.
Okay.
Passionate.
So you don't care, right? You just wait. You wake up in the morning. What I sense from you is I don't really care about how the world is working. What fuck happened? I'm choosing for myself to bring this frequency, and this is my focus, and this is what I'm gonna bring, and that's my power, and that's kind of the kingdom, so to speak.
Well, in my view, the outside world is a mirror of my inside world. So if I start in the morning thinking positive and everything, and doing all that I do, then the day can't help but be good. Yeah.
And it's a new day, right? I know people say, oh, it's a new day. Yeah. And then they talk about their past for the last 2 hours. And I'm like, that's not a new day. That was a past day, right? Yeah, exactly. The new day, we cannot go and have sorrow of 9/11. I mean, it's plenty of years ago, and it doesn't support anything. I'm always focused as a mind trainer to bring methods and tools that empowers us to take action for what we want to create, because we are creating a moment right now, right? In this talk as well.
Yeah.
It's shared intention.
Yeah, exactly.
Bringing something to life that we have a vision for, that we have a curiosity for also, because it's a mystery how it unfolds. I mean, you say you have a detailed plan, which I'm going to get into a little bit, and I'm going to hear how effective that is. But the detailed plan, we have a curiosity for bringing something to life, but we also have the mystery playing on how will that actually work out.
I don't give space for that.
You don't leave space for it?
In my life.
Okay.
I don't leave space for uncertainty. I'm just 100% certain about where I'm going in life and how I want things. Because, as I said, the outside is just a reflection of inside. So exactly like that, right?
Okay, so what I want to, this is interesting. So we can create a plan, but what I see is the mystery. I'm going to take a story a little bit, just a small story. I make the intention to, who was the guy? You have to help me out in the story. Who was it Moses who took, 400,000 people from Egypt and moved them across, So he had an intention. Right? Huh?
With the sea, where the sea divided?
Exactly. So I know it's a story, but we can use it in this reference here.
Yeah, of course.
So he has a clear intention. He knows what he's going to do, and he sets his mind up for it. He took action. He took... He faced it, right? He went to the wall and he's like, okay, I'm going to move through or around.
Yep.
But then the mystery is he doesn't exactly know everything beforehand, right? He has to be aware and awake and feel his way through it in a sense, and also logical deduction and reasoning and so forth. Talking with the right people at the right time, having the right interview with the right people at the right time, right? For the right reasons. So, exactly. And then he takes the 400,000 people into the desert, and suddenly he's faced with a sea.
Yeah.
Okay, and he has no clue with his that will be a science-based knowledge, right? He has no clue. He's never seen evidence that a human being who's being intentional with 400,000 people also, they can move the sea.
No, but it's faith.
Yeah, so he has to have faith that something may happen which will open a path that he was not able to imagine himself. He has to go beyond his limitation of the mind, the scientific mind at least, not the imaginary mind, because that one it's limitless.
Exactly.
Yes, imaginary mind is limitless. And so he just stands there and he's like, because he feels like he's guided.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's guided. So he talks... I would say he talks with himself, a higher knowledge of himself, which has not yet manifested. It has not yet become conscious in a way that he knows exactly what it's capable of.
Yeah.
And that's what I call the mystery. That's what I call a mystery for how it's going to unfold. Because if I leave that space open, things usually works out much better than what I had imagined. Just to clarify.
Exactly. I got a little bit of a view on that if you'd like to hear.
Yes, because you work a little bit differently. So I want to hear how is your take on that?
Yeah, exactly. So I got Think and Grow Rich here.
Yeah.
And that's a book. Hey.
It was very black.
Yeah, exactly. You can't see the writing. But it's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, we don't need to know the how. It'll come through unexpected things and processes, people, so on. But we need to know what we want to do, and we need to be 100% certain that that's going to happen and we're going to do it. Just a quick little story from my side, and then I'll stop. Quick little story about the guys that created airplanes.
Yeah.
The bicycle mechanics, Wright brothers, I think they were called. They were 100% sure that they could fly.
Yeah.
That it could be possible to fly. Everyone around them said, not possible. No one's done it before.
Yeah.
They knew inside this is gonna happen. We're gonna do it. they tried and tried and tried, and it worked.
Yeah.
And then people believe them.
Yeah.
That's how we got to do in life. We got to believe in ourselves that it'll 100% come true. We can't believe that. We can't leave uncertainty in our minds. There can't be space for this might happen.
Yeah.
This must happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Very good. I love this. And it's also an empowering place to be, because then you're actually moving with certainty. And that certainty helps with everyone you talk with. Yeah. It helps with every move that you make. And it also, if I'm spending too much time watching another channel, I'm not having that experience that I asked for either, the doubtful and such. There's a lot of method of how to cope with doubt and cope with the insecurity, because it's not like that's an assumption, of course, that you still experience it on time and time and time again. At least on my own sake, I still experience the doubt. And when I see that I'm experiencing doubt, I know it's a intuitive call. It's like a wake up bell.
Yeah.
Wake up, Brian. What am I waking up from? You're looking at something a way that you don't want to go. That way you don't want to go. That's why it feels doubtful. That's why it feels horrible. It feels like, not fun. Yeah, because I'm spending time in thoughts that's not creating my vision. Thank you very much, feelings and everything. You woke me up. What thoughts would feel more pleasant, or what was more in alignment? And then you start to, it's just looking the other way in a sense.
Yeah.
I want to see the sunrise, and I feel like nothing is happening. It's not going to come here. And then suddenly I'm like, it's behind me, right? I just need to change my perspective, my way of looking. Yeah. That's great. And we cannot leave room for any doubt. That's important.
No. Yeah, because then when we're doing this thinking, it's conscious thinking. And if we leave space for doubt, that moves the doubt into the subconscious. And subconscious is that turns our body into action. So if we leave space for uncertainty, then that can bring the uncertainty. It can attract it. We are our thoughts in that way. Yeah.
Well, we are definitely experiencing our thoughts. Because, so I like to see it like that. Because what I am is, what I see you as, and I see everyone as actually, is innocent, absolutely perfect creators.
Yeah, we are. Exactly.
That's how I see us. But we are not all experiencing that. No. Most people are experiencing their thoughts. And not having that as a foundation to come back to, and I can change my thought, I can change whatever I want. So I also hear your mindset is very much open for that you pick thoughts that is in alignment, and you do so consciously.
Yeah.
Because you've seen when you do that consciously, your action follows through.
Yeah. And I've learned a lot about it. I've been in a lot of coaching this year, and it's helped teach me about how my mind works. And once I learned just a little bit about it, I was like, that makes sense. It's like a user manual for my body. And what I had done in the past hadn't worked properly for me in those ways. So I started following this, and it works for me. I'm happy inside.
Very good. So I want to hear a little bit about that, Philip. You mentioned that there are ideas where you can put the rope, around the neck, and then maybe that will solve an issue you had back then. I mean, it came up as as an idea, right?
Or a last way out.
Yeah. So this is that mindset seems more like a conflict mindset that tries to that is in conflict with itself. It doesn't sound like you're creating something, and it didn't sound like that you like the creation either. So something is telling you that an end would be better than a new beginning.
Yeah, I got something.
Yeah, so I want to share a little bit with the audience, also everyone listening here, that kind of it's a very much victim state. It's a very blindfolded mindset. Yeah. So if you can share a little bit how that experience was, and also why didn't you do that? Why didn't you take the road, right? I mean, personally, I'll share quickly that I've had thoughts of jumping out of the window, and actually it was in a time of my life where everything seemed to work out perfectly, but just, so that's a little different for me. But first I would like to hear that state of mind, if you can connect with it and share with us.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
So it's a law of the universe that we're either creating or we're disintegrating. We're either going forward or we're going backward.
Yeah.
And at that stage in my life, I was at the will of the world. I was letting everything control me. And I had a really bad mindset. I had a bad attitude. I thought bad on everything. And that just led me into a vicious circle that led down and down. It starts with stress, then it leads to depression. And
so stress is a feeling in the body, right? It's a you start to, can you explain a little bit about the stress? How did what was the first thing that put down the veil? I call it a veil.
Yeah. Well, I've been fighting immigration for 14 years in Denmark, and that pretty much happened the year after I moved here. And I left, I'd always been in control of my life. I'd always said, hey, I'm going to go down and do this. And it happened. I did that. I come up here and I wanted to live here with my partner at the time. And I wasn't allowed. And I said, stuff it. I'm going to stay here. I'm not going.
Yeah.
And so I fought with that for 14 years. Last year in February, I got permission to stay here magically because I have some good journalist friends. And
congratulations on that, man.
Thank you. And both me and my partner, my girlfriend, Karina here, we both have been through it the last 5 years or so. And we both thought, okay, magically this will lift the veil. Now that I'm allowed to stay, things will get better.
Yep.
It didn't. Stop. Hey. Did you want to say something?
No. I just like and we thought everything will get better. It's just a common way of mindset back in the day, right? Everyone's like, when I get the million, when this happened.
When? Yeah.
When this happened.
Yeah.
Life is different.
Yeah.
But it didn't. Okay.
Yeah. Next year So we thought that it would lift the veil and all would be good again and we could just continue living life. As her understanding and other people's understanding around me is I had PTSD from constantly, well, to be honest, for 14 years, apart from 5 years in between, every 3 months, I was terrified of leaving the country. And that was a state. And at one stage, I did have to move to Sweden with my young family, a 6-month-old baby and so on.
Yeah.
So I was terrified of that constantly. And that helped put me down.
Because it was not what you wanted to create, right?
No, not at all. I felt the world was out of my hands.
Yeah.
And at the time, my business was going fantastic. Everything was going great in the business. I'd done everything right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And in the middle of summer, I was getting 50 SMSs a day with customers and that, which is fine. I got systems for handling it, but at that time it was too much. And I couldn't get out of bed in the mornings. I couldn't go to work.
Yeah.
I love my work and I couldn't do it. I stayed home for 6 weeks.
Wow.
And when you're self-employed, that's a tricky thing when you don't have $1 million in the bank or anything. I don't believe in ACAS or anything like that.
Yeah.
I believe in supporting myself like that.
Yeah.
And so that helped bring me down and I got very stressed by it. I was daily having panic attacks. My chest was hurting every day.
That's physical also, Tim. I mean, no energy in the body. So everyone listening here, if these are the symptoms that you also can recognize that, oh, I also have these experiences, that actually means your mindset right now is not fully functional.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Because this is what you discovered. So I'd love to hear.
Yeah. So just for those people, you can fix that yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Brian can help you with it. And many other people can help. I got help by 2 YouTube videos and it changed my life.
Yeah.
It's something you can come out of yourself, and you want to come out of it. You don't want to be in it, because it might be like, hey, I'm having chest pain, this will go, I'll let this pass, it'll be all right, it's just a period. No, it gets worse and worse. And as all that's happening, it's creating acid in your body, which gives you cancer and all kinds of bad things. It makes you can either create or disintegrate. If you're disintegrating, then your body is moving into a state of dis-ease. It's not, and you should always hyphenate those two, dis-ease.
It's the name, disease, not at ease, but disease.
Yeah. And so you don't want to be in that for periods of time. Stress is okay for a couple of days, something like that. It's
healthy pressure. I mean, I do personal training, I do workouts, I put pressure on the body, even challenges. There's healthy pressure. If it's too much, of course, you will crumble. Yeah. So it's a balance.
You don't want to be in those periods for too long.
Yeah.
But it's natural to use that. It's a thing we have. It's a good thing. Now, in that period when I was down, now I've lost the track. But when I was can you ask me some questions to get me moving again?
Yeah. So when it is that we're in that mindset that everything is just going down, and you said you had help from 2 YouTube videos also. So you were working on, actually everything is working out in your business, but you can't get out of bed, and there's no energy for you. And you had 6 weeks completely off.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Excellent. So that was in like August, and I went with all that. It was getting worse and worse. It wasn't good. I was breaking down daily, like, hey, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this world. Yeah. You asked me earlier why I didn't let anything happen. My children.
You mentioned, there was the rope, right?
Yes, I climb trees for a living. I'm a tree surgeon. Well, that's one of my businesses, and I climb up in trees with rope access, and awesome. And that was the simplest way for me. And I enjoy what I do, so that kind of took away some of the feeling when I was at work, which is really good. That's what kept me going. That's what saved me in a way. Yeah. But what really stopped me is my children. I'm here in Denmark because of my children.
Yeah. So you found a higher purpose than just yourself.
Exactly. Because if it was just myself, I didn't see a candle even at the end of the tunnel.
It's interesting the way we look at ourselves in those periods of time. It's quite interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and self-destructive, self-sabotage.
We believe an image of ourselves and the world, and we believe it to be so true that, of course, and we believe we can remove ourselves, from the world.
Because what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that went on for 3 months or so. My brother was over here visiting from Sweden. He didn't have it good at the time either. And we sat and talked about it, and both of us were in a bad state there. I didn't think it would get better. I would, if I had had a passport, I would have got on a plane and went to Australia. That was my next option, or New Zealand actually. Yeah. But my passport's expired, so that stopped.
It's interesting how the world also just takes away your options.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to face this, champ.
Yeah.
So in the way the universe conspires us to get better, or as I say, it become more conscious of what's going on. Because I hear you say, and I like my mindset, I like to explain it more like you're in an unconscious state of mind.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a bad state of mind, but it's more an unconscious state of mind. You're definitely creating something which was not beneficial, but in a way it helped you out to get even better at something. So I would like to share that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw these videos. in like the 30th, 31st of December, and just after Christmas.
New Year.
Hey.
Just before New Year. Yeah, so I want to cut a little bit off.
Right before.
Something in you suddenly got inspired to, hey, maybe something sounds different, right?
Exactly.
Okay, good.
And that's the way it works, right? Unexpected things come at the right time.
Yeah.
And I've always seen lots of videos now. So I was on YouTube, but not in that way. And I hadn't seen anything to do with this for about 9 years. And I saw these two videos. It made me think that, hey, there's some hope. I can actually do something with my life.
Yeah.
I didn't get a, hey, you need to go out and help people by being a life coach kind of. I didn't get that.
Uh-huh.
But I got, hey, maybe there can be a light at the end of my tunnel.
Yeah.
And my goal from, I got that I need to have a goal, and my goal from then on was that I want to be happy.
Yeah. I
just want to be happy again.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so the first of New Year's, I started taking action. It helped me take action.
Yes. So this is actually the way our mind works. When we say what we want and we have a clear definition of what that is, and we for sure believe this is possible, which is very important, then all the thoughts, all our actions, all our emotions starts to conspire for us to make that happen.
Exactly.
We look a little bit different on the trees, on the sun, on the skin of our body. We look a little bit different at the thoughts, and we take action. Just a slight difference to create what we want. Because the mind is creating constantly what it is that we believe we want.
Yeah. And even if that's the opposite of what we thought we'd like.
Well, that's actually what we believe we wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying to it.
Yes. Yeah, because it's just like the TV. It has all the channels for you. You can watch any movie you like.
Yeah.
If you put it on horror movie, that's what it's going to show.
Exactly.
It's so simple. Yeah, until you say, I don't like the horror movie, switch the channel. Well, the mind is the same. You can just switch the channel. So all these... The way I look at this is you got these experiences because you had, in a way, accepted something in your life, and something in you was going like, you don't just have that kind of happiness. You can have much more. So it's going to put you in a state of mind that's so irritating, or so like, I really don't want that. I want this instead. Thank you very much. Now you see it more clearly. So we put you in that state so you can more clearly pinpoint what it is you want. Fully, hardly, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. So I see it. Very good. So you started to make a transformation by watching some YouTube videos, and I can tell people, for some, this will work. If it didn't work for you, I have clients where it is that they need, 3 to 6 months of a training, or just to have access to me, write me sometimes when things pop up and they feel completely off track. And for other people, and myself included, for me, I like to do it on my own, but it took me 8 years to start mastering it. I mean, it can be done in a shorter period of time, but it's all, of course, we're all different.
Yeah, well, on a different part of our journey.
Yeah, so whatever works for us and the way we want to, do it with our lives, I can recommend both ways. So about
whatever works.
And we feel like, that guy inspires me. Well, move to that guy. He can move you forward, right? Yeah. Just want to open that option for people.
Yeah. So after I saw those two videos there, and I started just wanting to be happy, I started looking into options. I started looking into the coaching process that was available from the videos. Yeah. And I had about 200 kroner at that stage. Yeah. And I signed up for a 40,000 kroner coaching program. Yeah. I didn't know when I'd have the money. Yeah. And I got started on the program, and it asked me a bunch of questions that got me to really think about what I wanted. Yep. And throughout the process, I was like, I need someone to keep me accountable. It was a self-coaching thing.
Yeah.
And I needed someone behind me with a whip yelling, "Run!" That's how I work.
Yeah, get going. That's a big self-insight, by the way, to know what kind of environment that will support your ability to seize your goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good insight.
And that experience with the depression, all that, made me look at life in a different way. Yep. I've still got a lot of my life left, and I don't want to use, I would like to use, you can grab that in a second, and yeah, I would like to use my life going faster and helping more and more people versus going slower and doing things the hard way over maybe 40 years. I am much happier to move forward faster. Now you can probably pick up on what I just said.
Yeah, you know what? So that's your current mindset. And so as I said in the beginning of this video, I want to go into a little bit the mindset, both what is going on for you right now and also what has happened in the past. I think you covered very well that the mindset in the past, when we are deluded, I call it deluded,
yeah,
and we see the world negative, and we start to actually feel physical symptoms,
yeah,
which we also do when we're in a healthy mindset. You describe very well that in that state of mind, it looks like there's no way out, and that's the way it is. But it's actually possible to get that sprout of inspiration to turn it around. And for you, mainly, I heard it was a higher purpose. There was kids.
Yeah.
There were, it was more than just as you identified as yourself.
Yeah.
Very great. And then, so now you're in a different mindset. You made some choices and took some action, which you saw was helpful for you.
Yeah.
And I want to say that we're all different. And the important part is to go into, is that right for me?
Yeah.
Is this really for me? Because just because someone else did it that way doesn't mean it works out for you that way. So it's important to feel into, is that right for me?
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would you start a life coaching business, right? Why would I do mind training for people? Because I mean, there's a Tony Robinson guy. He does awesome work. Many people, they get super excited. But I found out it's not for everybody, right? It's not for everybody that way. So that's where you're at now. I hear that your mindset has changed, the way you can just talk about these things, and also just the visions that you put out. I love your awareness, or the way you bring awareness to your way of thinking and how you see your environment actually reflected that way of thinking.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome.
You want to pick up on what I just said before, the way I changed my sentence that I said out?
Yeah, so I heard that you caught yourself. You caught yourself in a way that you're about to manifest or make a statement of what you don't want. I mean, I would say we can say what we don't want as long as we right away point the arrow to what we want instead. I mean, it's also a certain ability of doing that. But I
haven't learned that yet.
No time to waste, because the direct path is to say, I'm going that way. Right? I'm going that way. I don't have to tell you where I'm not going. Okay, I'm not going to Rome. I'm not going to Spain. I'm going to Norway, right? So I'm going to say Norway right away. So I like that you caught yourself and just stated what it is you see yourself creating.
Yeah.
You want to go. And let's lead into that. I want to hear, because this is the Visionaries. Yeah. And Visionaries, they have an idea of what's going to be going on in the future, or what they are creating. A visionary it's an image, it's a state of mind, it's also a feeling of what is being brought to life through your focus.
Yeah.
Okay, so Philip, what are we going to see in the future? Huh?
Cool.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty
I'm just going to say one thing that I did this year. I did 5 really big things.
Yeah.
One of them was that I made a pretty unique stop motion film where I had this little Lego man clipping a little Lego tree, pruning it in stop motion. Lasted about 4 minutes. and I sent that to Legoland.
Do you have a copy of that?
Yes, I do. I'm going to send it here.
Awesome.
And because I want to prune their trees, because I can make them way more beautiful and healthier than they are at the present moment. Oh. And I not only did that and put it all over online and tagged them and sent it to them and so on, I got some gold paper. I don't have it here. I got some gold paper and I wrote a personal letter to them in handwriting explaining much. I'll send you a link. I put it on my blog.
This is great. I love to share that with people. We want to see, you know.
And this is because of the mindset and the training I've been in. Yeah.
It sounds very confident.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And it sounds very creative, and I love creativity. Creativity, one good advice from the book I just wrote, actually. Creativity eats logic for breakfast. Boom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I made that film. I sent it to them. I wrote a letter on gold paper with nice pen and wrote it real neatly. And I put it in a nice gold envelope and I put a red wax seal on the back. And I took it in personally into Legoland. And I said, I want to make sure this gets in the hands of the right person. Will you make sure of that? And they took about 40 minutes looking for the right person. I waited there. Oh. And they delivered it to a person that was in charge of the trees there. Yeah. It didn't come through, but that's okay because that person will retire one day and I'll be ready.
Yeah. Hey, so that's a perfect statement right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't look at the result. You have to see your effort. Your effort and consistency will, and that's the mystery to me, will bring that vibration of joy and happiness into life in one way or another. That's the most important part. Also, I want to say to people when they're listening to this talk here and you're hearing people sharing their creative moments and their joyful moments, if you're being triggered, if you go like, oh, you can't do that, and all these triggers that might pop up, you know, all these limiting mindsets, that's a good thing. That's because you see someone who's actually moving beyond a limiting mindset.
Yeah.
And one thing that I have learned on my path is to embrace people's way of doing stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's no right or wrong way. There is a way. And when people fully embody that and go for it, which I feel I get deeply inspired, not to go and prune trees, but I get deeply inspired when I hear your story to put myself and create my creativity, because that's what I see as myself, more out there, more into what I do. Yeah, really the unique way I want to express it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, mate. So, but you're not pruning trees.
I do it 1 or 2 days a week. I love doing it, and it's a good break away from the being inside.
Yeah, your fire is about to go. I don't know if that needs. It's
all right. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to Vale after this, so that's cool. What you just talked about was perspective. We can look at that as we can look at things as being a certain way, and someone else will look at it from a different perspective and see it a different way.
Yeah.
Example is, I hope you can see it, but
there's text on it.
Yeah. So this book here. So without me looking at it,
original classic.
There's no writing on this book. Am I right or am I wrong?
There's no writing on this book. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Well, I would say I see writing.
I don't.
Oh,
it's perspective.
Perfect.
That's it. That's perspective.
Yes. Yes. Yep. Yes. And this is exactly how I work as a mind trainer. I just realized as a mind trainer, what I do is I show them, because I connect with people's vision.
You show them the writing.
And then I'm like, but you have this vision here. I don't see it. I see it for you. And I'll share it with you until it becomes absolutely clear. Oh, thanks. Yeah. And then get the fuck out of my way. You know, we got to go creating. It's not like I want to help people watching that way forever, right? I want people to be able to do that on themselves, right?
Yeah, you want to give them the spark.
Yeah. Learn them to fish. Teach them how to fish.
Yeah.
But we don't want to do it for people. Yeah.
No, we won't want to give them the fish. No.
No, just for a little bit. Just for, just Does it taste good? Yeah, it tastes pretty good. You know, you can go get that. Okay, awesome. So will you share with us, Philip, where are we going here in the 2020? We're going into the
2020s. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. New
when
decade.
I was a kid, when I was about 8 years old, or 7, yeah, it must be about 8, 9. I wrote a story about how I would imagine 2020 being, with flying cars and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm dropping the telephone. I'm not going to have a phone number.
Oh.
Because I'm an innovator, and I believe in 2020, I don't want anyone interrupting my day, and that interrupts the day. So I'm gonna have a secret number that's only for my close friends and family. But that's one thing. That's just a big step. That's
but you
not
know
bad.
what, Philip? I'm not gonna enjoy that. You
No,
know,
I know.
It's not for me.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
I made some notes here. Yes.
Yeah.
So in 2020, I'm actually starting now, but I'm on a mission to help 1 million people, a life mission to help 1 million people become self-employed and to live from their passion.
Yeah.
That's not just starting a business or whatever, but I want to, so that's what I'm doing now. I've just started this 2 months ago.
Yep.
That's part of it, but I'm going to become what's called a Proctor Gallagher consultant. It's a mindset coach.
Yep.
And next year I'm going to start that. It's a 70,000 kroner education, and I'm starting that next year.
Awesome.
I'm going to have 100 to 500 new customers per month. I think I should go to 500 instead of 100. And I'm going to earn 100,000 kroner per month.
Yes. Okay.
That's my goals for 2020.
So what I hear is what I will call the vision is mainly that you're going to serve. So you're looking at 1 million people.
Yeah, over my life, yes.
Yeah, and you want to serve them.
Yeah.
In a way to have a foundation for them to grow into sharing their passions and make a business of it.
Of course.
Yes.
Because I believe that everybody should be free to be themselves, and I believe personally, I've had between 100 and 300 different jobs. I can't remember anymore how many. I used to have I had a lot of jobs before I became self-employed.
Yeah.
And I believe personally that being self-employed gives you the freedom to do what you want, to have a meditation in the middle of the day, to have an interview at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Monday.
Yeah. Yeah. It gives a flexibility to actually do it in a way that makes us grow even faster than this strict 8 o'clock, 9 to 5 business wise. That's how we all do it. We're all fishes. We all can only swim like that. There's no way, there's no way anybody's different, right? Nobody can be different.
We're in 2020. I'm doing a Zoom call with you from my telephone. Well,
oh man, we don't have that telephone in 2020. Anyways.
No, different phone number.
Okay, good. Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
we'll start messaging.
Thank you very much for sharing that vision. And here also, I would advise people, if you find that interesting, if you got hey, that's kind of inspiring, no, I'm pretty sure you want to work with people who are completely inspired. Inspired to take action, and you see yourself having some struggles or something that could, be helpful to get what Philip has here for you. There will be a link in the description below.
Yeah,
where you will find Phillip Hobbs and what it is that he's up to in more detail than we've got time for here on the broadcast. Thank you very much for sharing that vision, and I'm excited to see that 1 million people and what you're going to create from that, because it's not just that you have a business going.
No,
it's actually 1 million people starting to do more of what they're passionate about. And it's a world where I can see myself fit in very well, Philip. Yeah. So for me, it resonates. Oh boy. And I see I'm on a similar mission I want to connect people more into their passion, and also just educate about how we use our minds and how that's possible. I also have a course for that. But that will be in another show. This is great. And I love also you include yourself in the vision, which I find very important. Many of us, when we get into this, I can help people, we have a tendency to misinterpret stories from the Bible, or the way some of the, what can we call them, prophets, they have lived their lives, as it seems like they sacrificed themselves. But in fact, I want people more into, I love that you also see yourself in the vision and how you may grow as well.
Yeah.
In the process.
Exactly.
Feels good.
Yeah, exactly.
How does it feel? Well, how does it feel to see, having a million people giving a thank you letter, or what was it that happened there?
Now that question right there, I love.
Yeah.
Right now, I've got a niche that's called internationals in Denmark. Yeah. Because I struggled with a network in the beginning, and I don't, and because I struggle with that, I want to help people not struggle with it.
Yep.
Be the change you wish to see. And I have vision here in Denmark of like a Middle Eastern person starting a special kebab shop with specialties from their country, where it's Mustafa's kebab, and he has his turban, and he welcomes people in that way. Like I have your Australian tree surgeon in Danish, though, and I got inspired by these guys called the Italian tilers here in Denmark. Now, I got a little dream of all the international expats here in Denmark starting their own little business from the heart, and offering sharing a piece of their home or their culture with Denmark to make it a multicultural paradise.
Yes. Awesome. So that would be the main focus here
for a period of time. Yep.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Okay. So exciting times. Well, I think we covered everything very much. We got into the mindset, we got into a transformation also, and how that shift made. And it seems like actually you flowered after that. Awesome. Yeah. It's like breaking a seal. As I envision it, it's like a flower going through a metal concrete plate that just seemed like not possible to break, but you suddenly see, hey, there's actually light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. So the whole purpose with the broadcast here, and this is the first one. Awesome to have you here, by the way.
Thank you.
I see this can inspire people to actually take action, but it also shows possibilities that there are actually ways of starting to get an education where it's not like you have to become an engineer in the old way.
No.
It's not like, we can prepare you for, it takes 5 years before you can start. I really love the approach, which I also embodied myself in my own business, that if you have a vision now, or you have an inspiration for something, you got to start now. You got to take action right now. You have to plant that seed, not start in 5 years and start working with what you love. It's now.
Pause the video and write it down.
What?
Pause the video and write it down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for those listening, or rewind and watch it again.
Yeah.
So this video here, I love that we captured a moment of inspiration and a moment of transformation also. Very inspiring for other people to watch. And I love everyone out there. If you saw this video here, give it a thumbs up. Remember to give a like.
And share it.
What?
Share it with someone who might need it.
Yes. Give it a like, because the more you'll put a like on things that you actually enjoy, the more the universe will bring more of that for you. But also share it, because it's in sharing our joy that the joy grows. That's where you feel more joy. I've been meditating for many years now, and there's peace. But when I can share my peace with someone else, oh my God, it feels amazing. It's an expansion that's incredible, right? Yeah. So do that, give it a like, share it. And whether you see this video on Phillips' channel or on Facebook or on the YouTube channel, subscribe. Love to see you. Maybe join a Philip course. I don't know the name for it, but the links will be in the descriptions below if you're interested in its life coaching.
Self-employed mastermind.
Self-employed mastermind. Perfect. Okay, thank you very much. And just to short, I'm Brian Jacobsen here. I do mind training with people, and I love to see everybody who is more into their passion taking the step to actually just feel into what it is they want to bring about, not just in their business, but also in their relationships, in daily life. When I see you in the bus or, at the train, I love to see people who are embodying their passion and feeling great about life, because that way we're going to extend into a vision, a future where we are all much more connected, where we're more into inspiring one another and working together. So that's what I love about it.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I think we should take it off here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. See you later.
See you later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're ready. You can. Awesome.